And we are back with the with the third segment of the GSMC Basketball Podcast presented by the GSMC Sports Network. And in this third segment, we are going to be talking about the matchup between the Warriors and the Pelicans. And we're going to go right into this. So, as you guys know, originally I picked the Pelicans to win this matchup. I was hopeful that the Pelicans would be able to come out with this win and be able to not really surprise the Warriors, but sort of make the Warriors and their lives difficult. And to make matters worse, Steph Curry was not playing in this game. Andrew Wiggins was also not playing in this game. So that's two of the team's main offensive scorers not participating in this competition. So you would think that the Pelicans would be able to come out with this win, right? I was wrong. And of course, in hindsight, I can't really say that I should have known any better, because this is something that you just cannot predict. This is something that just that really just happened. I mean, the Pelicans, they started out really nice. They ended up leading the game 31-14 in the first quarter. But then after that first quarter, they just collapsed. They got outscored by double digits in every single quarter after that. In the second quarter, they got outscored 33-20. In the third quarter, they got outscored 40-28. In the fourth quarter, they got outscored 37-27. This was just a complete collapse coming in from the Pelicans in this matchup. They were up by so much early on in the game, and then it ended up turning out to be nothing. And it's how do you let this happen? I genuinely don't know how you let this happen. And Brandon Ingram, he ended the game with 30 points in this matchup. He shot 12 for 17 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 30 points. That's a very, very good game coming in from Brandon Ingram. 4 rebounds and 2 assists along with that. Again, a very good game. Zion Williamson, he ended the game with 31 points, along with 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 12 of 19 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. Again, very good game coming in. But the problem was the rest of the roster. The rest of the roster essentially forgot how to play basketball. There's no other way to say it aside from that. I mean, the only other good player was Yevis Missy, and even then, he only scored 9 points for the Pelicans. He was 1 of 5 from the line, which is really not ideal, but he was 4 of 6 from the field. You can't really ask for much more than somebody like that. And it's just the rest of the roster, they did not play well at all. CJ McCollum, 2 for 8 from the field, 5 points, only taking 8 shots, and even then, only making 2 of those 8 shots, that is abysmal. That is really, really bad. And Jose Alvarado, he's not really that much of a scorer, but he ended up going 2 for 4 from the field with 6 points, 2 for 2 from the line as well. It's just the rest of the roster did not perform nearly as well as I expected them to. The only 2 players that ended up being in double figures in this matchup were Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram. And you just can't allow that to happen, especially against a team that doesn't even have 2 of their best players on the roster, arguably 2 of their best players. I mean, you can make the argument that Andrew Wiggins is now a third option as opposed to a second option now, given the resurgence of Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield in these games for the Warriors has been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, in 29 minutes, Buddy Hield ended the game with 28 points, was also able to shoot 9 of 18 from the field and 7 for 11 from 3. That is hyper efficient from 3 with Buddy Hield. And not even just for Buddy Hield standards, but any player standards. That is incredibly efficient. Then there was also Lindy Waters III, who ended up finishing the game with 21 points, 8 for 13 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3. Again, really solid performance coming in from these players. Brandon Podziemski, 8 for 18, 19 points. Jonathan Kuminga, it should also be noted, Jonathan Kuminga was reported to come off the bench in this matchup, which is really, I don't understand exactly what the Warriors are doing with Jonathan Kuminga. They clearly do not have a plan for Kuminga and what exactly they're going to do with him. I mean, they don't have an extension plan for him, and now they're going to bench him despite the fact that he's actually a pretty solid player. I genuinely don't understand what they're doing with these with Jonathan Kuminga and the rest of the team. But at the end of the day, Moses Moody ended up going 6 of 8 from the field, 5 of 6 from 3. You could make an argument that this was just some really good shooting luck coming in from the Warriors, but again, the field goal percentage and the three-point percentage coming in like between both of those teams, it wasn't really that much of a difference maker. Like, now, the big problem, however, was the lack of three-point attempts coming in from the Pelicans. They only took 22 three-pointers, and then they made 9 of them. But the Warriors, they took 46 three-pointers, and they made 21 of them. Like, when there's a team shooting and making 21 three-pointers, and you're only making 9, that is extremely difficult to beat. It's very, very difficult to beat. Not to mention the fact that the Warriors, they ended up having way more possessions than the Pelicans in this matchup, way more chances to shoot the ball than the Pelicans in this matchup. And on the Warriors side, Kyle Anderson did not play well at all, but that wasn't really, it wasn't a main factor for this game. I was very, very shocked to find out that the Warriors, they did not play Stephen Curry in this matchup, and they did not play Andrew Wiggins in this matchup, and they still were able to win without a problem. Like, this is really, really bad. Like, just awful. I'm sorry to say this, but this is awful. Like, for the Pelicans. And this is definitely going to move them down in the power rankings a lot. But for the Warriors, I'm actually a little bit scared because this team, this franchise, they refuse to go away. I don't understand it. They just refuse to go away. When you think they're not going to be good in a year, then they shock everybody. I don't understand what this team's got going on. I don't know what's in their Gatorade. I don't know what's in their water. I don't know what the GMs are cooking, but it is absolutely ridiculous. Just the amount of success that they've been able to have, not to mention just how they've been able to peddle that success with the rest of their stars. I mean, Steph Curry sitting out and you still win? And even then, Steph Curry, when he was playing in these games, he wasn't even playing well in a lot of these games. And yet the team was still able to win. I don't understand how they do it. I just don't. Like, it's maddening. It's incredibly maddening because it's like every single time that I think that the Warriors are going to go away, they don't go away. They just do not. I don't get it. It upsets me. It really upsets me. And the Pelicans made me look really dumb in picking them with to win this game. I mean, they had everything for them. They had everything that they needed to go for them. They had a 30-point game from Brandon Ingram. They had a 30-point game from Zion. They had Steph and Andrew Wiggins benched, not playing in this game, and they still ended up losing. I don't even know. Like, even if DeJounte was playing in this game, I still think this game would have either been close or the Warriors would have still somehow found a way to win. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't understand. I just don't. Like, this is so confusing for me. I'm baffled. And the fact that I got 2 games, it's literally just like, it's a curse. I think I'm cursed, guys. I think every single time I am destined to get at least 2 games wrong. And I think that is a curse. That is a curse that is going to befall unto me. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know when. But it just always happens. Who, what, where, when, and why. I just don't get it. I really don't. But that's really all that I have to say about this matchup. Again, I'm incredibly shocked at the results of this game. And I'm incredibly shocked at how constant the Warriors have been able to be good. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. Even when they lose Klay Thompson, they get a really fresh replacement in Buddy Hield. Now, Buddy Hield's defense isn't all that great, but with how he's been shooting the ball, it really doesn't matter at this point. Because it's like, okay, he can't guard one of the players. It doesn't matter. He can cancel out their scoring with his own scoring. And that's really the end goal that you sort of expect from somebody who is not that dominant on the offensive side of the ball. Like, it's really just, it's maddening. It's incredibly maddening to me because it's like, how on earth are you guys able to be this consistent for this long? It's really just like, go away. But that's all that I have to say. So we're going to go ahead and go into our break, and then after the break, we're going to conclude our NBA recap with the rest of the 2 games that ended up going down last night. So I'll be right back after this short break. Be sure to stay tuned.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.